Picture this. Your kitchen is completely gutted, you've got live wires exposed everywhere, and your contractor, well, they've suddenly stopped returning your phone calls. So you go to check on the permits, and you discover the absolute horrifying truth. They were never actually licensed to do the work in the first place. This nightmare scenario happens way more often than you'd think, and the financial and legal fallout, it can be absolutely devastating. So welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're walking through exactly how to verify a contractor's license in the state of Alabama. It's an absolutely essential skill, and it's going to protect your property, your wallet, and honestly, your peace of mind. Okay, let's dive right into this. I want you to stop and ask yourself this critical question right now. Is your Alabama contractor truly licensed? We so often just take a contractor's word for it, right? Or maybe we glance at a business card that proudly says licensed and insured, and we leave it at that. But here's the thing. In the state of Alabama, making assumptions about legal credentials is a massive gamble. The broader implications of working with a licensed versus an unlicensed contractor are literally night and day when it comes to your legal protections and just the baseline quality assurance of your project. The Alabama Board of Electrical Contractors actually has this really great official warning on their site, and honestly, it applies to all trades. It simply says, what you don't know can hurt you. If you hire an unlicensed contractor, you are exposing yourself to some severe risks. We're talking about voided building permits, completely unenforceable contracts if things start to go south, a total lack of financial protection, and of course, serious safety hazards in your own home. Verifying a license is really the only way to ensure the person you are hiring is legally compliant and qualified. Here is our roadmap for today. 1. Why verification matters. 2. Finding the right board. 3. Step-by-step lookup. 4. Understanding results. 5. Troubleshooting. And 6. Final review. Section 1. Finding the right board. Navigating the alphabet soup. A really common pitfall is assuming Alabama just has one giant, centralized portal for every single profession. Well, they don't. To verify a license, you have to match the specific trade to the correct board. So for commercial projects, you need the licensing board for general contractors, or the LBGC. For residential home building, it's the Home Builders Licensure Board, the HBLB. And for the specialty trades, they each have their own authority. Electricians fall under the AECB, plumbers and gas fitters are under the PGFB, HVAC is under the HACR board, and septic work falls under the Alabama On-Site Wastewater Board. Knowing which alphabet soup you need is honestly half the battle. Take the Alabama Plumbers and Gas Fitters Examining Board, for example. These specialty boards have highly specific, incredibly stringent rules. For instance, they require plumbers to take continuing education courses just to renew their active status. You can't just check the General Contractors Board from Master Plumber. You have to go straight to this specific board's database to get the real story. Section 2. Step-by-step license lookup. So, once you know exactly which board you need, how do you actually find the information? The fundamental process across these different state websites is essentially the same 4 methodical steps. First, you identify the governing board for the trade. Second, you access that board's official public online portal. And good news, these are free to use and usually don't even require you to create an account. Third, you enter the contractor's specific details into the roster search. And finally, you confirm the real-time status of their license. To actually make this work, you're going to need to gather some basic information before you start clicking around. You can usually search by the contractor's first and last name, their registered business name, their specific license number, or even filter by their county, like Autauga, Baldwin, or Mobile. Now, let's think about a quick scenario here. If you search by just a first and last name, you might pull up several different people with the exact same name across the state, which can get super confusing. The absolute most foolproof method? Ask the contractor for their exact license number up front and search using that.
Section 3. Understanding your results.
Finding a name in the database is really just the start. You might encounter a scenario where a contractor confidently hands you a beautifully framed paper certificate. But listen, verification is completely distinct from simply looking at a piece of paper. That paper could be outdated or, worse, altered. The direct registry query reflects the real-time status. You need to see an active status, meaning it hasn't expired and has been properly renewed. You also want to ensure there are absolutely no suspensions, revoked licenses, or probationary conditions hiding in their disciplinary history. The crucial point to remember here is that a license is not a blank check. You absolutely must check the classification and the qualifier. Alabama licenses are issued in specific classification categories. For example, a general contractor's license carries a very specific dollar value limit per project. So you have to verify if they are actually classed for the financial scale of your specific project.
Furthermore, Alabama licenses are tied to a qualifying individual. That's the actual person who passed the exam. If that official qualifier has left the company, well, the business's license might actually be invalid, even if it initially looks totally okay online.
Section 4. Troubleshooting common issues.
Okay, so you might log on super eager to do your research and you see a message exactly like this quote straight from the home builder's licensor board. Licensee search unavailable. Please contact the board offices for verification of licenses. It happens. State government portals go down for maintenance or technical difficulties all the time. If the website is down or if you simply can't find a contractor who swears up and down they are licensed, please don't just throw your hands up and hire them anyway.
When the internet inevitably fails, you have alternative, actionable solutions. Honestly, you can just pick up the phone. You can call the Home Builders Licensure Board directly at 1-800-304-0853. Also, it's really vital to note that some of these online tools have built-in limitations. For instance, the General Contractors Board explicitly states on their site that their online roster is not official. So if you need absolute legal confirmation, like perhaps you're managing a massive commercial project, you are required to call them directly at 334-272-5030 to legally verify it. Section 5. Conclusion and call to action. Once you do successfully verify a license, do not just close that browser tab. Always document your search results. Jot down the date you performed the verification, the exact license number, the classification, and the expiration date. Keep all this safe in your project files. If you're managing public contracts or submitting bids, having this documentation is often a strict legal requirement. But let's be real, it's also just an incredibly smart practice for everyday homeowners too. I'd absolutely love to hear from you all on this. Have you ever gone to check a contractor's background and found some surprising discrepancies? Maybe a suddenly expired license or a missing qualifier? Share your stories down below in the comments. Sharing your experiences is such a great way to help others in the community spot those potential red flags way before they make a costly hiring mistake.
Section 6. Final review and disclaimer. Just a quick reminder as we wrap up, while this explainer provides a pretty comprehensive guide, the information, the phone numbers, and the web portal structures are up to date as of the time of production. State regulations and board processes can and definitely do change over time. You should always verify details directly with the official Alabama state boards to get the most current, legally binding information. But now that you have the tools to hire your next contractor with total confidence, ask yourself, how much is your peace of mind really worth on your very next home project?